year. Customer clientele. I was broke, that was last year. Getting money like cashier. Get the money like a cashier. Benjamin, nothing less. I was broke, that was last year. Don't change 'em. I never switched up. Been down since day one. Stay social. People change them. I never switched up.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to DBT Live. My name is Marcus.
Boom. My name's Kevin.
I'm Stefania.
And I'm Hashim, also known as Hashay.
Michael Carter, a.k.a. Mr. Carter, a.k.a. the Paperboy.
Paperboy in the house. Hey, this is a 1-year anniversary episode.
Woo!
It's 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
The 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, that's true. Technically, it's the 14th, but yeah, that's
I
crazy.
thought that's what you might say.
Tomorrow.
That is crazy. We really did start on the 14th of January.
What's today? Today
February.
is, hey, welcome to February 13th.
13th, exactly.
I get the Hashade part, but
Hey, I went to school up north, not in Texas.
yeesh.
We all
Y'all ever
can't
see
be
the
perfect.
Matrix? Y'all ever see the Matrix? I'm this over here.
Right. Yeah, kind of have to.
Oh boy. So anyway, we are around the table. We are chilling. Let's be honest. We getting vaccinated. So I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, just happy to be here. We hoping that if you will, the sixth member of the DBT family will be joining us. That's Jason Hennington. So hopefully he'll hit us up and he'll pop on in as well.
I ate Spam and bologna sandwiches growing up, so my vaccination's cool already.
Spam, absolutely.
This guy.
Shoot, syrup and butter mixed together. That was
I
excellent.
have
Sugar
never
water.
had
I didn't do
Spam.
sardines.
Bologna sandwiches, yeah. Spam, no.
Were they fried bologna?
Yes.
Fried bologna in the house. What's up?
Yeah.
What type of bologna?
Or eat.
Like, why am I wearing these?
The red
And,
wings?
yes.
Okay.
But no, here's the thing. I'm not picky. I'll do both. But then you got to put in, if it's not fried, you got to put potato chips on
If it's
the
not-
sandwich.
Can I get?
Yes.
Ooh, I
You
didn't know
have to
anybody else was
have
out there like
Lay's
that.
potato chips on your bologna sandwich.
Sorry.
Fried
Right.
bologna with your Miracle Whip,
Yes,
not mayonnaise,
Miracle Whip.
nacho cheese Doritos.
A hint-
Crunch 'em.
a hint
Now
of
you
mustard.
did Lay's. That's
Right.
I need a hint of mustard.
Pinky mustard.
And then-
Was it
Right.
Dijon?
And then,
Grey
if Mama did was feeling
Mustard.
special, she'd get some Grey Poupon. But that Grey Poupon had to last for about a year. So when I say hint,
Listen, unless your cheese came in a block.
hey,
Yeah,
Hey,
that's the best cheese.
that
though.
cheese did. It
That
did
was
come in
the
a
best
block.
cheese.
That
if
is
you
the
ain't
truth.
never had no nachos made out of that block cheese,
Hey,
you have not lived
you
a
know
good
what?
life.
got the
Milk
cheese
cheese.
in a block in a little sandwich bag where it don't zip. You gotta
Fold it over.
Spin it.
Yes,
Yo,
yes.
no doubt. No doubt.
The
So-
fold over.
So what are we going to talk about tonight? I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about tonight because we were talking about spam and bologna and crap. We're going to talk about the future of DBT. And I told y'all, it says, yep, we freestyling tonight. We are freestyling tonight. We're going to talk about DBT in the future. We're talking about where we're headed at. We're talking about the platform. We're talking about who's going to be coming on guest-wise in the future. We also talking about what the next steps are for DBT. Which, quite frankly, I'm pretty excited about in that aspect. So,
I mean, honestly, first of all, we could talk about some of the past of DBT because remember us when we met Stefania, we was at Aurora Blackout 2020
mm-hmm.
in a rainstorm. What did they call that storm that blew in? It was like there was a
monsoon that just kind of.
there was a
what do they
name
call
for the
it?
storm because it
Down
blew
like
in.
a monsoon.
It's another language for sideways. I can't remember exactly what they call it.
Yeah, cool.
But it blew in. We all rushed
Listen
inside
to
the
the
rush.
bass explosion.
No,
It
it's
was
another-
really, it was a sight to see.
It was crazy
Yeah.
though. And we met you, and you were like, "Hey, I don't mind getting down." And we straight up forgot to call you for like what 2 months.
2 months. No,
Sounds about right. Sounds about
I had
right.
moved on,
Like-
into my application to other platforms.
Well, don't feel bad.
We're horrible about follow through.
because
You were the first acquisition.
But I got a testimony.
Okay, test
It wasn't always.
Come on,
Listen,
brother
ain't been no
Hashim.
crystal staircase.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But,
Come on,
Speak your truth,
but
son.
y'all don't hear me.
Speak your truth. The doors of the church
I was
open.
like, oh, Dope Black Thoughts. Oh, that's cool. I have Dope Black Thoughts. And so I was like, I reached out because I know both of them, right? I know Kevin and I know Marcus. I was like, I need a splash of gay.
He did say yes. He sure did. He did say that. He did. It's like, yeah, that's good. That's what's up.
That's
But
why.
it took them forever and a day. So then when they circled,
Forever and a day, too.
but then when they circled around, my diva was like, I'll get to this when I get to this.
Right?
I know afterthought. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm looking for backup here.
I'm like, get some.
She's like, nah.
Okay.
She was straight up, my people will get back to you.
Yeah, I know my worth. I know my worth.
So yeah, it did. It took a while.
But then Carter came.
Carter's
through.
been on for it. He was a
I was
guest a couple
just
times.
trying to help out.
Hell.
Just trying to
Here we
help.
go.
I was
The
just trying to help.
modesty.
Yes, there's a
I
lot of
saw-
egos.
I saw some brothers struggling,
So what happened was
and I said,
Carter's mama called me.
Y'all don't let him play.
my boy is going to be a star. And you tell your son to put him on TV.
Make your cousin put your cousin a slide.
He's got talent.
Let Michael play.
My boy is going to be a star.
Right. My baby just as good as your baby. I don't understand why he can't be.
DBT is an inclusive platform for all types of people.
That's
He
it.
got talent.
But
And, but Carter did bring some guests,
Carter
he brought some
came-
interesting guests,
Very good, yeah.
which y'all got to go back and look at because we had Charles
And Charles
Charles
Linsmeyer.
Linsmeyer.
Yeah.
That's the Republican.
No.
We had one of them too.
Hey,
You got
we
one
need
of
to
them?
have more.
No,
Opposed to
Charles-
you, we can
Yes,
handle that.
Charles worked for the publishing company for college textbooks.
He's I can't remember the name. It's the second largest publishing company in the country.
Is it Huntington Milford?
If you are buying a level 1 or level 2 textbook, you're probably buying it from his company. He came on, he was great, and he kicked butt. But I think Jason, who just sent me we're trying to get him to log on. I think I think one of the best shows we did in the beginning was when Jason came on and just started talking about just being a down home, a newspaper man from the middle of nowhere, Texas, and just telling his truth.
Yeah, and that was good because he talked to us about the story of how corrupt some of the sheriffs were. How I think that sheriff won the lottery.
R.
Yeah.
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
He won the lottery,
Yeah, that's right.
but he lost the election. So,
But he won.
but he came on the show, but in November, the people of Williamson County, he lost the election. There's a Democrat in Williamson County now
Hey, now.
as a sheriff.
Oh, wow.
So all it takes is a TV show to exploit the incarceration and murder of Black people.
And remember, it was on
It took,
PD
it, took,
Live.
it took a while for Arpaio to get put out of office.
That's right.
So he
Yeah.
was doing that.
That's right. Yeah, so we had that. We also had Prince Dykes who came on and talked to us about finances in the Black community. That was one of our first shows because there's this misnomer that Black folks don't invest.
Yep.
That Black folks don't save. There's this misnomer out there in that aspect, and that's nonsense.
That's absolutely nonsense.
And so we talked about
ludicrous.
that. It is completely. So we talked about that.
Tyson voice.
We went in on that, and so we've had some.
What I'm saying,
And we
we should
did have
bring
a
those
Republican,
people
yes.
up because these people need to circle back through. And who was the Republican? That was your neighbor, wasn't it?
Well, why you gotta be my neighbor?
Because he
He's a great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude, but he's a he is a ex-military down home. I think he either grew up in Alabama or Georgia, and he's a Republican. And he came on, and you know what? I think it was one of the.
and he ate some crow that day.
Well, he
found out he was voted wrong.
So I happened to
Did
be.
he? Did he?
There was an interesting fight between.
I was scrubbing through that video today because I was looking for the outro to make this one, and you were sitting like this. Huh? She was sitting
Because
like
he got quiet. Because Scott Wasserman was on
That's
from
right.
the Bell Policy Center, and we were talking about
That's
116. 116 And Scott was like, this is the fact. He's like, nope. And so Scott, like, so Scott is Jewish. And they already have space lasers, according to
according to a certain congresswoman.
But I guess they have
space lasers without satellites.
Right, but I guess they also have a magic sack. So Scott reached down into his Jewish magic sack and said, try this, called facts.
Right.
Try this, called reading.
Not alternate facts.
Some of the dude was like, what is this witchcraft?
Right.
And he went to research. He was like, oh. And that's when I couldn't hear. And I had pretty decent hearing. I'm like, huh?
I got 20/20 hearing.
You in the studio for that?
Did I just hear your face hit the floor and break?
Wow. Ow.
Yeah.
Ow, the shade.
But hey, you know what though? Welcome back on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Hey,
Time out. Remember when I first popped up, when my mama said to me I had to come and play with you? I said I think it's about interesting people having a conversation.
Yep.
And whenever anybody I brought to you has been somebody interesting, anybody I brought to you it was about somebody who I thought was interesting, but I also wanted y'all to talk to. And I am not done.
I think the mic still picks up.
Yeah, I think it does too. I thought I'm just gonna let that
wait. Steve, if you could tell me how mics work, I'm confused.
Because how y'all acted, I know.
The reason we started that was stronger.
Is it like a pterodactyl? If I stop moving, does the mic come out?
And
So enlighten us.
what white lie are we believing about how pterodactyls acted? How we know?
Acted.
Man, I ain't mad at no pterodactyls.
How we know?
It's a pterodactyl friendly show. It's a pterodactyl friendly
But listen,
show.
so as a brother talking about, don't run, stop moving from the T-Rex because they're sensitive to motion and light. How the hell you know?
Yes.
Look,
Right.
you have my permission. If that ever comes up,
I'm not stopping.
You can run like you take off.
First of all, this is true. This will not be on an island full of dinosaurs.
Hey, look here.
So when
Whenever they start cloning for real,
I'm sorry.
I want
when they start exposing the clones.
Right. No. I mean, when they're really just cloning what they want to clone.
Well, with
I
Hashim-
want to see a dinosaur.
When Hashim gets his all expense paid vacation,
I don't want it to be in my
Dinosaur
yard.
Island.
I want to go to whatever
I'm selling
school
it.
they're
Okay,
going.
you need to watch Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3 and then tell me.
All right,
So
I watched
anyway,
some
folks, I don't know how we got off on
Off
that,
the rails.
Right.
but we're gonna get right back on.
The
So basically, back into the year in review.
trying to have the adult.
So we did also have we also
Crushed
did basically a section on those who were running for office.
Crushed it.
So we had Amy Patton on. We also had
Mr. Mason.
Mr. Brian Mason. We had
Caitlin Turner.
Put forth.
The female black author?
Yeah, Jason Crow.
Jason
Crow.
Crow.
And we also had House.
I'm sorry, we
Steve House.
should call him Mr. Impeachment Manager.
Impeachment Manager Crow.
Congressman.
That's right.
Jason Crow.
We had Jason Crow on, impeachment manager.
Hopefully
We're gonna get
another
to that.
impeachment
We're gonna
manager.
get to that later, right?
Yes.
It's just a point.
And we did have Shatara Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes, we did have Shatara Jackson.
Self-published black
Self-published author, exactly. And by the way, go out and read that if you are okay with. It's a little strong. It's a little sexually strong.
It's called Hot Ghetto Mess.
Listen,
Okay.
all of us, if you're watching this, you were brought here by Sexually Strong.
It is Hennessy straight, no chaser with no ice. Like
If you can stand 50 Shades
that's
of Grey.
science.
It's what I like to call.
Oh, wait. We can talk
Grown
about
man.
cloning, but we can't talk about biology.
Right.
No, we surely
Right.
can. I'm just was doing a year in review. By the way, we're being joined by the newest member of the DBT family, Mr. Jason Hennington. Welcome.
Jason Henson.
Feel free to unmute yourself.
You guys, since we're talking about biology and stuff,
Thank y'all. Glad to be here.
Yes.
was not consensual.
Well, say that again. What
Oh.
we talking about? Not consensual?
I don't know what that's
we just,
talking about.
you know what? I didn't want a career anyway.
So-
to be honest.
So anyway, so that's been the year in review. So let's lay it out for folks about where we headed at this stage. So
I didn't want to do nothing in politics.
apparently, we got Mr. Carter and Sister Gallegos. They're gonna have a little bit of a show. It's interesting.
Miss Gallegos. Oh, you said sister. My bad.
Mrs. Gallegos.
Oh my goodness!
I
Can
thought
we
you said
please?
Her husband's over there.
Sounded
Just
like
just
I'm
for the
talking
record, by the way.
Greater First AME Church
So-
in Stefano.
So I just want to throw it out to Mr. Carter. And first of all, Mr. Carter is also going to have his own show. Talk to us about that. What's that's going to be about?
Oh, I got two things going on for you guys. It's going to be Sister Gallegos and Brother Carter. I have
First of all,
somehow.
Stefania said, "Stop messing up my revenue source and call me Stefania."
Branding.
That's why.
Well, Jason.
Sister.
Jason has a
Yes,
show
sir.
on Wednesdays. So talk to us, Jason. Talk to us about your show on Wednesdays.
So Jason's
So-
already come with a show. See, I like this. guy.
It's actually on Thursdays.
It's on Thursdays. Okay.
Yes,
The other
sir.
Wednesday, the Wednesday after.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Black People Wednesday.
Oh.
So what's the name of the show?
It's called Around the Water Cooler, and we talk about local high school sports, but we also talk about other things going on. We try to keep it sports, but every once in a while we branch out into some other stuff. The fiasco that happened out at the Capitol.
Mm.
We
That's what you
took
say.
we took about 20 minutes and talked about that.
That's what's up.
And got some interesting feedback and everything. So I mean, it's just a fun show. Enjoy doing it. I still want y'all to come on sometime.
Jason.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
Jason.
So
We would have got
Yes, sir.
the name. We would have got the day of the show right if you had showed up on time.
Wow, Jason.
Oh,
Don't,
wow.
yeah, just
Hot shade.
hot shade.
now wait a minute. I was on Central Black People Time.
Oh.
CCP time.
So I ain't the smartest
That's
man
good.
in the world,
That was good.
but if you were on Central Time, you should have been here a whole hour earlier.
That is true. Okay.
CCP.
Jason. So what you're
And
saying
right now,
is
in
the
black
internet is
households,
bringing you
they
right
say-
into the room.
Go get the belt.
This is bringing you right into the room because this is the shade we get from 6 inches away. Trust me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Listen,
All right.
I'm an alpha. I believe in the process.
Trust the process.
Right on.
So Jason's walking in with a show, and I'm walking in with a show too. I've not recorded yet.
But wait a second. Wait.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
cut off Mr.
Oh,
Carter,
yeah.
didn't
No,
I?
go
I
ahead.
did.
Go ahead, man.
Because they were arguing over something.
Paperboy.
Too much brown liquor.
Oh, I don't drink brown.
Oh, that's right.
Ah.
He drinks golden. Okay, go ahead.
It's Sister Gallegos and Brother Carter. For now.
I believe in giving women
We gonna
autonomy
change
over
that
how they
name.
want to be labeled.
So talk to us about this show. What's the show? What's the show that's coming to the
Let's
platform?
get to the show.
It is a cooking show where I feed Sister Gallegos while she hangs out.
He's not feeding me. We are going to cook together. See, the misnomer is that he thinks I can't cook. So,
Whoa.
but
Is that what's going on in your mind, Mike?
we're gonna let the man cook.
I'm just trying to bring
Put it back in the
everybody
We're gonna
in.
let you cook.
Trying to bring everybody in and help everybody out. So it's Sister Gallegos and Brother Carter, pending a name change. I also will be doing Paperboy Presents. I got a lot of interesting people I want to talk to about Bitcoin, finances,
That's tough.
and just a lot of interesting people I want to bring out. And I want to do those on Mondays, just for about an hour. And then I wanted to talk to Ashim about some Sunday shade, and see how that goes.
Did you see the look look at this camera view on Hashim's
Oh,
face?
You know what?
I'm
I
on
keep
the phone, so I gotta swap over.
eyes on the prize.
That's it. So we are definitely excited to bring that to the platform. I think the cooking show is going to be unique in that aspect. But quite frankly, I think the interaction is going to be far more unique in that aspect. So anyway, let's turn it over to Kevin. So Kevin, what you got coming, man?
So I got Kev Talks Tech. Look, I'll be talking about electronics reviews, things in the technological industry. I don't care. Bitcoin is cool, you know, all your blockchain stuff. And look, EVs, internet related stuff, just
still working. Nothing.
all that. But it'll be a developing show and be having a lot of interesting guests as well. Mike, I guess we'll try to be in some sort of a competition and see what's going on with that.
It's not a competition.
And I'm going to do
It's a competition.
an after dark special.
Yes.
Oh,
This is the one that's probably going to get the highest ratings
No, I'm not.
anonymously because people don't want to know that they're watching it. But go for it. I'm here. I'm
So
here.
on
for
my
this.
show,
Your
all the
credit
guests
card will
will
not be
appear.
charged.
No, it will be. So for the low, low price of a monthly fee of $19.99, you can see all of my gas from the neck down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was our cooking show.
Yeah.
Yes.
You better worry.
So, all right. So, yes.
So, Marcus, what you got, man?
So I got a show coming. It's called Shoes, Food, and Music, because there's nothing better than a pair of shoes. There's nothing better than food from different restaurants. So I'll be hooking up with some folks, and we're going to go hit some restaurants, because believe it or not, Colorado has a vast variety of food, and Aurora is starting to develop itself too into a little bit of a foodie spot. But Denver obviously has a lot of food spots, so we can be hitting those up. And we're going to be talking about shoes, and we're going to talk about music, such as some of the greatest MCs of all time. You can see it right there. That's Outkast, one of the greatest of all time. Probably the greatest rapper of all time is Andre 3000. Not up for debate. And then we'll be talking about that. And so that show will be going on as well. We'll probably be doing that on Tuesdays or Sundays. Don't know really yet at this point. Now, we also have another show. It's a sports show. Now, who's going to be on this sports show?
Now, look here. So pending further, ironing everything out, though, myself and at least Omar Montgomery will be doing a sports show. And we haven't gotten all the details put together, but we have gotten the approval to go ahead and get that one started. So we're gonna be coming out with a lot of different angles for DBT Media.
It's gonna be another level. So really happy to have all of those shows. Happy to have Jason on board as well. We just putting out content upon content, because here's the thing: there used to be a channel called BET. I know it still exists,
But it used to be B.
It used to be B. That B used to mean something. So, but here's the thing: there is a B in our name, and it does mean something. It means black, dope black thoughts. So we bringing it all. We bringing intelligent folks to the stand. We putting them on. We gonna let them have access to their show. And on top of that, we also are looking for other shows out there as well. We looking for other talent to come here as well. Talk to us, pitch your show to us. Let us know how this is gonna be.
Yes.
Why is this important? Because not only are we going on radio, we going on KPEO radio, but there's something else in the works too that involves TV screen too, not just YouTube, but others. So we're gonna talk about that too when we finalize everything on that. So we doing it big.
There's more.
Yo,
What?
that is.
Yes. You can also find us on OnlyFans.
All right.
Really, it's really Patreon. It's actually Patreon. I didn't want to do OnlyFans because that was a little weird, but Patreon is good though.
I gotta push back. OnlyFans, nothing's wrong with that.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Just, that's just y'all.
Some of our viewers agree.
Right. Like, listen, OnlyFans started out for music groups
It
for
did.
their fans to tune in.
That is true.
Are you our fan?
If I may.
No.
So should I be, if I log on to OnlyFans, should I be looking for music or something else?
Well,
Should be looking for dope black thoughts. That's what you're looking for. Gentlemen,
that's music.
No. Now, see,
yeah, you hear this, Jason?
Gallegos. I'm back to
It's,
That's like, so,
but the energy is real. That's what makes this so enlightening. The energy is real. So here's the thing: you got all 6 of us on the show today. You may only get that once a week, if that, just because everybody else is working on their shows and we're producing the shows and we want to make sure that the shows is quality. So yeah.
but if you can't sleep.
What I was thinking originally, I thought we were the Jacksons, but we are Wu-Tang.
We can be the Jacksons.
Wait,
We-
which
What you gonna say,
Jackson?
Jason?
Star and Eric and Michael now?
No, you Randy.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. No doubt.
I was like,
You know what?
which Jackson? Shatar and Eric and Derek? You should definitely try to get Eric on here. That would be.
Randy over here.
Randy, Tito, Penny,
Who can name the Jacksons?
He said Penny.
Randy,
Penny.
Jermaine, Michael, Tito,
Janet.
Dopey, Sleepy.
This is like history, man. Hold on. Can anybody name all the Jacksons?
Yes.
That's a nigga.
Joe.
Okay, there you go, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you talking
So-
about like all the
Michael.
Jacksons?
Joe,
Yes. Latoya.
Ruby,
Yes.
Ruby. All right.
The
Ruby.
oldest. Reby.
Reby.
Latoya,
Yes.
Jermaine,
Yes.
Jack.
Michael, Marlon,
Mm-hmm.
Tito,
Oh,
Janet,
Yes.
Yeah, you forgot
is it
Jackie.
Randy? Is it
and
Randy?
Jackie.
Yeah, and Jackie.
I
Randy, he
said
did
Randy.
mention,
I said
he
Randy.
did
Jackie was
mention
a
Randy. Huh?
The oldest was either
No,
it was
Jackie
Reby.
was in the middle.
Reby was the oldest.
Yeah.
Reba.
No, it's Reby.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
that was a
you're right.
Reby. There was a Reby.
Rebe.
This is Black
So the
History.
Black
Let's get this
Jackson-
right.
Rebe.
The oldest.
Shut up. You're right, Rebe. You're
Tell
right,
me what
Rebe.
other show you get that knowledge. Right there.
So no, we're bringing it. But on top of that, we
Don't
will
be.
also continue to bring you the local talent, but also we're gonna bring you some of that international and national talent as well. We are reaching out. We are getting folks on shows. We're getting folks lined up. We refuse to simply be just a local group
Or family.
or family. That's it. That's it. So that's where
if
we
you
are.
are a struggling mom trying to make your way through college,
What?
Stop.
I am going solo.
Yeah.
You know what?
You already out.
Just
Getting
after
yourself
this
so
meeting,
out.
So we want to thank you, Michael. It's been a long
This is like-
time. And
this is a anniversary and a goodbye. We'll move
you're
on.
wearing a
You
watch
know what
already.
happens when
I'm
you go
inclusive.
solo.
I'm inclusive.
You know what happens when you go solo. You don't never make it down. Never
Right.
make it. So
Everybody
just
think they
stay put.
Beyonce or Dinah
Stay put.
Ross.
Right.
Thought we
But they end up
were
being Don from In Vogue.
Right.
Yeah.
if we're Wu-Tang.
Rude. That was so rude, and I agreed with him.
If we Wu-Tang, I'm ODB.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be ODB. I'm fine.
Stop it.
Old
I'm
dead
just
black.
I'm technically just a
I'm going out in a ball of flame.
here.
I'm going out in a blaze of glory.
Oh, that's black.
Sheesh. And
Remember me?
and if y'all notice, yeah, y'all the energy's too much. I mean, obviously there's been too much something. I don't know if you look behind
You can't
Stefania,
get us all
you
in
see
the
a
same
lot of
room.
Chips.
Libations.
yeah. There it is.
Oh, there's
That's
some
all it
chips.
is.
Chips back there. This guacamole is too spicy.
What is?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
the problem is-
Listen, she put her foot in the guacamole.
Hey,
All right.
I made some guac. Wait till you have my enchiladas and green chili.
Which is I'm
That's
actually looking
tomorrow.
for that for purposes of the show as well. All right. So anyway, we've been hitting it for 30 minutes, 27 minutes. So what is there to talk about? What happened today?
So that
That's in
number
the news.
45 got off. Is there justice in America?
Hashim's president was acquitted this afternoon.
Look
I
at the
don't
look at the
even know
look.
your mom. Don't do
Look at the
Hashim's president.
yeah, the whole side of your face is gone. From those,
What was it
that laser.
57 to 43?
Hey, hold
57
up.
43. 57 for conviction, 43 for acquittal.
So
And they
so
called
so
it so
let's
early.
bring in the Texas connection for this. Jason, what
Yes, sir.
say you about number 45 being acquitted? You come the farthest, you go first.
There's definitely something in the water. I'm not sure how he got off. I know people in this area, at least in Williamson County, have been all over it and been like, this is what was supposed to happen. It should have never,
One of those.
it should have never got to this point. People here in Williamson County, they love President Trump, love 45. And they're all for, him getting off, and they still think the election was stolen. And
Colt 45.
I've had people trying to justify the fiasco at the Capitol and everything like that. So
So I heard a libertarian actually say, you know what, this is a public building. They shouldn't have locked the doors. They should let the public in. And you know what? I hear that, but they were armed, dangerous, riled up, and had bad intentions, and were chanting to hang the vice president of the United States. And I believe there was a plot to kill multiple elected officials.
So first of all,
Now let him do it.
we're still in a pandemic.
Facts.
We were under COVID lockdowns or COVID restrictions, right? This is before any of the colors start to change with letting up or anything. So I understand it's the people's house, but miss me with all that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like we have leadership who are in their 80s, right? High risk. We had a group of people that did not believe in science, wanted to enter into the Capitol and charge the Capitol, not just for touring purposes, but they actually were there for fighting like
Right. It wasn't like they were filing in single file.
Right.
It was they were described as an angry mob.
As
So
an angry
having
Well, they
the doors
ran
open-
over and beat up and killed the cops.
So the
Right.
appropriate response from any time someone is invading your capital, a foreign enemy is charging your capital, carrying a combatant flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting
That's
fact
the
right there. They're
thing.
hearing and
You do
Yeah.
not
combatant
use
flag.
prejudice to protect the capital.
That flag is
Period.
popular where you're at, Jason.
Period.
I'll go last.
Say that again.
I said that flag is popular where you're at.
That flag's popular where we're at.
Yeah.
But that flag came from where y'all from.
We did swing blue.
Would you like me to put a picture up of me
No.
driving by that flag?
No, I mean I get it.
Yes, actually.
Oh,
We can, I
but
mean,
hold on.
they had like a convoy go down 25 here, the highway.
Okay.
I get it. It's here, but
Let me just say this real quick.
The other way.
Let me say this real quick and get out of the way. One, I drive all over the state of Colorado. Do not be confused. That flag is being flown right now, less than 20 miles from where we're sitting.
Good old stars and bars.
Period.
Yeah.
Two, we want to be mad at these senators. The reality is there are individuals. We elected these people. And when I say we, everybody, all right?
Yeah.
We were touting 65% of the electorate voting. That's why we have these small-minded individuals in our capital making our decisions. The way you end this nonsense is you have people vote, and you have everybody vote. Arapahoe County, I would think, had one of the highest turnouts they've ever had. And I think it was like 80%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means? 20% of the people who could vote didn't.
1 out of 5.
That's ridiculous. So as we sit here and we get mad at what's going on at the Capitol and how the vote turned out, we need to turn out. And if we do that, then this BS will stop.
yep.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, but what happened to? Okay, so they want to bring the rebel flag. They want to come in and say we're patriots. Hey, they're chanting USA and fight for our president and whatnot. What happened to these colors don't run? So when the police are that are protecting our capital, which is the center of what our democracy is standing upon, when we say that these colors don't run, that meant that they should have been. It shouldn't have been one. It should have been several. It should have been maybe a wave of them. Maybe the ones that were pushing that fence over those cops and hurting them and breaking their fingers and making people have fingers amputated and getting blinded and getting beaten by American flag poles. Maybe some of them should have, maybe there should have been some more standing their ground.
Yeah, I mean, that flag was not the flag of the South originally. It was actually a different flag. It was kind of a white flag, I thought, too.
It was a white flag.
And so that flag came in at the end, and quite frankly, it came in during the process where they lost. Here's the irony about all of this. When you include this acquittal in quotation marks, it's a joke. Jurors in the state of Colorado or any other state are not allowed to walk away or refuse to appear. They have to sit there and listen, or else they can be held in contempt. But here's the funny part about all of
Get
this.
a default judgment.
Yeah,
It's not a trial. It's a political
yes.
process.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly. And so I guess when I look at all of this, I think about how, well, let's just put it this way. At the end of the day, this dude did what he did. His words was used. Everyone knew he did what he did. However, this tells you how messed up our politics are. And y'all have heard me talk about this before. What is the average lifespan of a civilization, if you will, or a group? 330 years is the average span of a civilization. We are still a young democracy, 200 plus years old, and you're still making mistakes, you're still messing it up. But we are at a definite crossroad here. I mean, people talking Civil War.
They've been talking this.
So what happens in Civil War? People die, and what happens? Do you win Is there success? I mean, what happens? I guess at this stage, I'm just trying to figure out.
When
What's
people
the
talk
end
about
game?
a civil war, I kind of wonder, how do they delineate who the enemy is?
That's the question.
Yeah.
When you're walking down the street and you say, "Hey, I'm on this team. I'm on team A." How do I identify team B?
Right.
In what era of the Civil War?
In 2021.
I
look?
think they seem to be as brazen as they were back in 1863.
Yeah.
But
They
here's
still
the thing.
they still wear as boldly their colors then as
Which
they
colors?
do now. There's
These
no
colors?
more orange, white, and blue. It's red and white. They, instead of saying the South or the Confederacy, they say MAGA or Trump. So they still should be held accountable. And we have technology now that can do the dive and the forensics on their history and their pattern of this, and that should be utilized. The Patriot Act paved way for this to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want to see my tax dollars working.
Not just to look at my browser history, but
Right.
find these terrorist people
And
that are trying to
protect
kill
America.
Americans.
Yeah. So here's the funny
problem
part.
is you're asking the people who are diving into the history
To
to
research them.
Yes.
Well, hire
exactly.
us.
Yeah. So anyway,
Make me head of Homeland Security if you want them gone.
trying to tell you. So they're telling us to get past this insurrection. Just get over it. It's done. But wait a second. But the folks from the South and the Republicans. But here's the funny part. They haven't gotten over the Civil War. They still talk about it.
right.
They still bringing flags.
The cognizant dissident.
Yes, it's like, well, get over that. That's done. That's past.
Y'all still
Go
buying
ahead,
y'all
Jason.
ex's Valentine's Day gifts.
So something that I hear a lot, and I'm just wondering if it's something y'all might hear out in that area, is people say that's my heritage.
It is.
When they talk about that,
They're here to be
talk
racist.
about that flag, they say that's my heritage.
Your heritage was
Yeah,
wrong.
but they're talking about a heritage of a Southern group that lasted for a total of 4.5 years. But they existed for 4.5 years.
But it is their heritage, right? Like I can give them that is their heritage. Their heritage is full of racism.
Mm-hmm.
Their heritage is full of laziness. Their heritage is full of
Needing free labor, you're lazy.
right,
Yeah.
exactly,
I can't find
exactly.
Refusing
Their,
to get it off.
their heritage is full
If I
of
could get a
being
hold of Jake.
terroristic. Their heritage is full of treason. That is their heritage.
Yeah.
That's
They just need to finish up with it. I'll give them that all day long, but they lost, and that's not
And
it.
that's also in their heritage.
No, that's the thing. No, that's it right there.
That speaks to their future.
If you're going to accept it as your heritage, accept everything.
All of it.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
they're like, no. Just that little bitty part that I'm okay with. Well, unfortunately, history doesn't work like that. It's not just the parts that you're okay with. It's everything else.
So if you haven't noticed, I'm ticked off that he was acquitted, but I'm not surprised that he was acquitted. We all knew this was coming, and the excuses of, well, it's compelling, but he's out of office. Wait a second, you had a chance to have this trial when he was in office, just as quickly as you had a chance to ramrod through Amy Coney Barrett. So you had the ability to do that so quickly. Why couldn't you do a trial so quickly? What am I missing? Nothing.
What was wrong with the witnesses? What's wrong with that?
Well, that's where the Democrats messed up today.
Well,
No, they didn't.
You don't think they
Talk
did?
about it.
And Trump stipulated.
I think they should. I
He
think they
didn't
should.
want them
So
there
listen,
to add to their comments. So
we
he
know
stipulated
George
what they were
Brockler,
going to say. He didn't want
David-
any variation of their comments. So he stipulated to it.
but we also know that George Brockler, we also know that Dave Young, we also know that there are many other, Beth McCann's in this, that they have tried many cases with far less evidence and have gotten convictions.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
not on the Democrats'
No.
part.
No.
Like this is purely on the lack of backbone that the invertebrate of the GOP senators had in the U.S. Congress.
You
Yeah,
call it a
period.
backbone, really?
A
You
blind
really
man
think
could
about
see and a
backbone?
deaf man could
Well,
hear
yes, I do.
that Trump was guilty.
Because they are capitulating to him. They want to say, what do you want, Trump? I'll do for you.
But you have to ask yourself, why are they saying that? It's not because
He's
they
the
can't
leader.
stand up to him.
Because it's not the Republicans, it's the Triplicans. He is the leader.
Why is that? You have to. There
Because
is
they
something
are-
bigger. There's something deeper.
They know that there is a minority out there that will continue to vote for them. The only way to fight back against that minority is to vote.
That's it.
Are they the minority?
Well,
They are not. Look, I'm gonna say this real quick, and I know Ashim gonna get mad at me. I had this conversation with somebody else.
Nobody should do that when they're at arm's reach.
Look,
You put us on the same.
there is a difference with being an a-hole and being a Republican. I'm sorry, there is.
What's that?
There are some Republicans who are not a-holes.
Name 5.
The problem is they allow the a-holes to be the biggest voice in the party.
So what's the next hole that's closest to the
All right.
A-hole?
See?
But is it that they're just
All right, I'm
a-holes,
leaving
or
it
is it
alone.
that they're also complicit with full-blown white supremacy, neo-Nazis? I'm saying, like, you're not an a-hole because you're okay with the Nazis.
No. Yes, you are.
You're okay. You are. That's an overlapping match theory. You're also.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
You're
that.
also fascist. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's so you're using something that overlaps with the majority of the racist people.
Look, man, if you
But
want to,
racist, I think it would be a good replacer for the a-hole.
if you want to
Because I'm not worried about the
demonize,
a-holes because I know plenty of Democrats that are that.
let me get it out. If you want to demonize the whole Republican Party, go ahead.
I can name 10.
I don't. No, wait, dude. Jason lives in Williamson County.
Yeah.
Would you like to have a conversation about the members of our family that are Republicans?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
Oh,
Jason, are there members of the family that are Republican?
yes.
Are they a-holes?
So listen,
No.
let me do
No,
this. Let me do
no,
this.
not at all.
See,
Not at all.
see,
I can think of
there
at least
has
two.
to be a
What's the next
reconciliation.
hole closest to the A-hole?
That's why I'm not worried about. That's why I'm not worried about if they're rude or if they're jerks or if they're a-holes, as we're saying. I'm worried about the ones that are racist.
So hold up.
I count that as being.
Let me ask this real quick.
That's an asshole.
The first person in your family
But that's
that
not
you,
the ones in your.
the first person in your family that you love the most.
Right.
If they were out on the street and they happened to get accosted and they were having the hell beat out of them for whatever reason, and then I drove up and I'm fully Second Amendment and I'm just watching this happen and I said nothing, who's wrong?
Or if
I said nothing.
or if I'm a juror and I say,
hold up, no. I want this scenario. If I didn't honk my horn, if I didn't yell out my window, if I did nothing,
Morally or legally?
aren't there tons of
Okay,
black
now
men in jail
who is
right
this
now for
who
that
is this
exact
person
thing?
getting
but
beat?
I'm not talking about.
Oh, wait.
that.
That's a good question. Jason asks, who's the person getting beat by?
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah,
It
who's
doesn't
the person
matter.
getting beat by? Yeah, that does matter. That matters quite a bit.
Why?
Okay.
Because one, if it's law enforcement and you don't say anything and you see it, then you probably need to be arrested too.
Why?
You have a
just
duty.
just like the guy who
What kind of
filmed
duty if you saw being?
Okay.
No, I don't.
filmed the kid that got followed while he was running and got shot.
Okay. All right. 2. If it's not law enforcement and it's who?
Now that's just being a
Right. Well, no. Why? Why is it different for the non-law enforcement versus the law
And
enforcement?
also, the law
Because-
enforcement was in the crowd that was doing some of the.
I need to know why it's different than the law enforcement than the non-law enforcement.
because the law enforcement takes an oath and
Okay.
they are to protect and serve.
Okay.
Now if you just see them beating the hell out of a citizen for no
So
reason,
why do I
you
need to say something?
because
Aren't they not-
these are the people we're supposed to trust, that we're supposed to put our trust in to protect them.
Okay. So
Hashim,
no, I'm not finished.
differentiate
If I'm not,
between law enforcement and yourself,
no.
because there's a different duty.
But if I'm supposed to trust law enforcement, am I not supposed to trust the person walking up the street not to do me harm?
You can.
You
No.
can, but that's
Okay.
not.
So one can make an argument that law enforcement is more lethal than Bubba, Tyrone, or Paco that are beating the hell out of your loved one.
Aren't they?
So why do I have to say something if it's law enforcement? So all I'm getting at here If you feel I have a responsibility to speak up when your loved one is getting mollywopped up and down the street, a responsibility to honk a horn, a responsibility to yell out my window, a responsibility to use my hands to stop it, a responsibility to use my gun that I legally carry to stop it. Don't Republicans have a responsibility to speak up when the a-holes of their party are behaving inappropriately?
See, that's why I say you have to dig
Yeah.
deeper
Yeah.
and figure out what it is. And I refuse to believe that it's just about not having a backbone.
Mhm.
There is something else that is compelling them to be completely blind to the things that he has done.
Because they believe.
No, I don't think it's a matter of them believing. They know better. But there is something that is making them.
So it goes
The
down.
only thing-
The
What-
belief of impunity. They thought there was going to be impunity.
What is the only
It's going to
thing?
go a little bit further.
Huh.
What is the only thing greater than their beliefs? Power. And what are they trying to protect?
Their power.
And money
It
and power.
serves them
Money and the
to have
power.
Somebody.
Money and the
below.
power.
So I still want to know what's the next closest hole to that.
You know, I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm not an anatomy major.
I wanted to jump in on the analogy you made. So you said if someone's beating up your family member or just beating someone on the street and you see that and you see it with your own eyes and you know it, right? You know that there's damage being done. If you in turn become a juror, wouldn't it be your responsibility to vote or to say that you want a guilty verdict because you know for a fact that this person committed this crime and hurt that person? That's where I was trying to go with it.
Here's the issue.
The only.
How can you say
We're
not guilty
calling
when you
these-
saw him?
We're calling these senators jurors. And the reality is they are still political entities. I expect more from a juror. I believe that they are going to listen. I know they can't leave. I hope they're taking notes. And please don't fall asleep. And God forbid you attempt to help the other side. I'm expecting more from jurors. These were not jurors in the sense that we think. This was not a trial in the sense that we think. This was a political circus.
Meaning these are jurors that
Period.
get paid, that get lobbied, that are running for election.
They literally were handing notes to Trump's defense team.
Yeah. That's the part that
meetings,
gets me.
Secret meetings.
Forget
But
the
even-
votes,
but even-
yeah, they went in the room.
But blow back on us. Blow back on us. The judge was a sitting Democratic senator. Like let's if we're gonna when we went back,
But if they're voting,
we're
what's the
going to
judgment?
call
What's the
it
judge
out.
going to do? What's
Then
he
we
going to do if they're going off the votes? What's the judge? What
Actually, this judge got to vote too.
okay, but that's only one vote. Why did it matter that it was?
if your judge got to vote, what would you think?
There's maybe one more for the correct side, hopefully.
That's an interesting thought. However, I don't want my judge voting because I don't trust him in the first place. Anywho,
But
So
you're
it
talking
would've been
about a criminal.
52.
You're comparing it to criminal.
I know that's why because in our minds we think this is a jury trial.
Right.
We
That's
think
true.
it's a jury
That's
trial.
It's not that in
with
the
jurors.
essence of
I
that.
don't think we.
But the senators are the jurors
Yeah.
of the impeachment hearings.
Of this political.
It's just a.
It's not the same
Yeah.
thing.
Well, let's be
Right.
real.
As-
This is the way that it's written up in the Constitution. It's okay to say that it's wrong. All right. There's no way in the world senators should be the jurors because they're not impartial. Because you, especially in a profession where you are essentially prosecuting a person who's a potentially member of your party, how
Yeah,
can you
partisan.
be impartial?
Right.
You can't be.
You can't have partisan jurors.
You can't. So it's wrong. There's a lot of things that are in the Constitution that are backwards, but whatever. At this stage, the ability to change them is darn near impossible.
It's a political process. The reality is, he is still can be charged criminally.
Yes. I was gonna say, come on, New York. Like we are. All eyes are on you.
Well, New York, Florida, Georgia,
Yes.
they're all looking at it.
We are all looking.
DC. Oh, by the way, DC is looking at it for purposes of local law to see whether or not there is enough there to convict.
And that was
or
our
to
last.
charge.
For the insurrection, for the
Yes.
incitement of a riot,
Absolutely. Yes.
criminally. And he said that he's afraid of criminal charges coming down. So, Georgia, Florida, New York, we are watching y'all.
Yeah. That
Colorado.
We need people to call into the show
I
from
mean,
there.
we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, which is, by the way, we are looking for political correspondence folks from other locations. But that's the truth. You know, honestly, I gotta be real though. I'm sick of talking about this dude. I'm sick of talking about that 45 person. And I say that not to be disrespectful or rude. I'm just sick of talking about it.
Yeah.
This person's not in office.
He's a disaster.
But let's talk about the fact that we have person 46 who nobody really talks about because the man's not tweeting.
Wait. When they do talk about him, they say he's doing too much to stop a pandemic.
Wait a minute, what?
And starving people. The New York Times.
He's doing too much.
Yes.
What now here's the
plan.
Here's the part that
Vaccines.
people, and here's just a little education issue.
Via executive order, but still,
Yeah,
they're saying.
well, that's the thing. Now, the executive orders. Now, he said it, and he said it correctly, and it was accurate. He said, the thing about my EOs is I'm not making new law. I am simply reversing bad executive orders.
Right.
That's all he's doing. He's not making new law, and he's correct. But
we need to.
But anyone who knows him in that aspect, they will tell you that he is not a fan of EO at all. If you look at his history, he's all about this partisanship. Can I go to both sides? Can I talk to both sides? Can I come to an agreement? Can we compromise? He is not for this. Exactly. He's not for this. So give the man props for that aspect. Listen, he was not my first choice. I actually was going for
And you agree with that
Julian
statement?
Castro, just to be
agree?
real. That's what I was going for Julian Castro. That's what I was actually going for. Cory Booker was after that. I enjoyed. I like what they had to say. But nonetheless, I'm supportive of the president. I want this person to be successful. The man purchased apparently 200 million more vaccine shots for distribution.
I think what we were just asking for, and I think what there was the referendum on, was we just needed an adult. We needed an adult. We just needed somebody to step up and be like, okay, we got a plan. Here's what we're going to do. And we had an adult, but 2016, we're like, no,
Right.
we want just to see what can happen. What can happen if the head of our government is anti-government, minority,
The kids
but not
say
the
we
good
want
kinds.
to take over the school, and we want pizza every day.
Right.
We want to
What?
do recess all day. And what's the worst that could happen?
What? And that was the refrain. What's the worst that can happen? All right.
140
asking questions.
days later.
That was the question.
And I'm not just worried about the injured police. I'm worried about the 400,000 dead Americans, 400,000 plus dead Americans, and the Trump COVID recession. I will use his name for that.
Well, it seems like we have to hit 500,000 before people get upset.
Well, that 500,000 mark actually it's more commemorative.
We just wanted a plan. Literally.
I want to ask.
There was a plan though. And
No,
it was the herd immunity. Let all the people that are gonna die, right? And then the rest of us gonna be fine.
Right. That was the
I am fat, black, and from Texas. That's called a trimorbidity. I need more than herd immunity.
Like I am.
We are Americans. We are Americans. Most of us are fat, and no matter where we're from.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Right. I ain't from Texas.
You got everything.
Right, yeah.
It's an easy killer.
That's
Most of us like our deep
Right.
I'll take the
sticks of
trifecta.
butter,
I'll take the trifecta.
mayonnaise balls, deep fried mayonnaise balls. So that herd immunity wasn't going to work for anybody, but that was the plan.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
It's funny how people always want to talk about herd immunity, but they don't even understand how herd immunity works.
It's basically a genocide.
Yeah.
It'd be a genocide of the poor because you can't afford the best treatment.
And let's be clear, the trailer parks,
Packed full of comorbidities.
the Ozarks,
Comorbidities.
Like I
Jesus
said,
and the Black Messiah.
all of those who have Mountain Dew now
Judas.
Judas.
would be gone.
That's true.
Okay.
The Appalachians, deuces.
Right.
The coal mine towns, deuces.
Yeah, all your
Right,
your
sticks of butter.
Midwest, your
Eastern
old
Colorado.
cities.
Deuces.
Eastern Colorado, the plains. Exactly. Then you got folks up in northern Colorado, Weld County, talking about. Anyway,
Talking about what?
we want to be part of Wyoming. Yeah.
Bye.
Right? For real.
Go right on.
Bye, Felicia.
Where's the
All right.
song?
30-minute drive. Hit the road.
Then you got states like Texas. Let's succeed. Let's succeed.
Well, and speak to that, Jason. People don't understand, and we've had this conversation. The largest amount of African Americans in this country are in Texas. Secede if you want to.
To get us back all of our government stuff.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
bases,
I don't think
money,
people
the
understand how
resources.
bad that
Acres?
could go. If we
Right.
Say
succeed.
what, Jason?
Exactly.
I don't think people understand how bad that would go if we succeeded.
Y'all better talk to y'all good Republican family members that are supporting this in they silence.
Well, only one of them is
Do we
in
still
Taylor.
have those? Do we still have
The other one
more
is out
than
in North
10
Carolina.
Black Republicans?
It's lowercase b.
Wait a minute, hold on. Whoa, what's the question? Because the largest congressional district was run by a Black Republican in 2018.
I'm not saying that they don't that we didn't have them.
Okay.
I'm just saying I think that population has dwindled down
What does that mean?
of Black Republicans.
So
It
the
means-
largest congressional district. Then doesn't mean that congressional district was full of Black people.
And
No,
It
it
just means that congressional district was full of
Republicans.
intelligent, deficient Republicans.
They were Hispanic. They weren't white.
Intelligent, deficient Republicans.
They weren't white.
And so we can talk about whiteness and the proximity thereof. Like I love that type of talk. Let's get to the nuance of it.
let's ask McCain how he feels about herd immunity and being a Black Republican. Oh, that's right, we can't.
I can get you one if you want me to.
I'm not talking about no. Well, I know
Let's
that
get the friendly ghost.
but they should.
Huh?
Casper.
That's true. I ain't doing that.
We were supposed to get him on because he was in the race with Steve House and Jason Crow.
He was in the race with against Air Perlmutter.
Oh, that's right. He was.
So he jumped into six.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He got out of it because he couldn't compete with House, or he wanted to give it to House.
He
to let him run
said,
it.
Mr. White Man, I's a vows man. I's a give you all the spaces you need, Mr. White Man.
Goodness.
He jumped out the race and said, "Mo, biscuits, sir."
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, I's a get you some molasses to go over with them biscuits.
Hey, now look here. That's
Sister
not
guy ain't gonna help
directed
me.
towards Casper. That's
Help me,
directed
sister
towards
guy.
that's directed towards the joke. Anyways, but yeah. So
Wow.
Casper, friend of the show.
Mama little baby love.
Friend of, no. Kevin had the nerve to say friend of the show.
Well, he hasn't been on the show yet. So
Do we have enemies on the show?
no,
Yeah.
we don't have
Then
any.
his statement stands correct.
No.
Because nobody intelligent would hate this show.
No, well, no, definitely not. And that's and quite frankly, the varying opinions and thoughts and processes. Yeah, how could you?
And honestly, if anything that's said on this show pisses you off, makes you think, you know what, those guys are so dumb. Come on here and
tell
prove us wrong. I would love to have a conversation with a dissenting opinion, and that's another one that shows that we're still we got to work out the framework.
We got to
of it.
work out the framework. of that.
But we need a debate show. We need people coming on with completely differing opinions. I'm here
Yes.
for it.
Yeah, and in fact, on top of that, me and Kevin had been saying that since the beginning. So we incorporated February 2014 or 2000 or February 14, 2020, just before pandemic land. But we've been doing this before that. But we have always said, if you got something to say, bring it. But here's the thing: don't come to us with any nonsense or conspiracy theories unless you got proof. Bring proof. But bring proof from credible sources that's been cited by more than one source.
And
You know-
not cited like SIGHT.
So bring it on, because we want
Jason, what makes a good citation?
facts.
Oh man, when you have more than one source that's saying the same thing and they're credible sources, sources that you can go to, that people go to get the truth.
Mm.
So I'm going off on a little side note here, but apologize for this, but a lot of people say the term fake news. As a journalist, there's no such thing. It's either news or it's a lie.
So you mean to tell me?
Oh boy, here we go.
You mean to tell me that there is
That's
no
my cousin.
such
Hey,
thing
that's my cousin.
as an alternative fact.
Come on now.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, it's called a lie.
Right, thank you.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
he said
That's all I'm
it's
saying.
news
There's no
or it's a
such
lie.
thing as an alternative fact. So what was that woman that looked like the
Kellyanne.
Kellyanne? I was the crypt keeper.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
She really.
With breasts.
I should write Kellyanne Conway, ma'am.
Yeah, that was
and
a
it
lot.
also turns
Listen.
out that outside of her appearance, she's a monster, you know, with the exposure of her daughter and whatnot. So there's
She
multiple
pushed
levels.
child porn.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is child
Yeah,
porn.
she released naked pictures of her daughter.
That's
I didn't
say it was an
Okay.
accident.
I did not even search it.
It
Just
came
for
up
the
on-
record.
Yeah, you won't find it on my computer.
No, I didn't see the images, but the story broke on.
We
multiple
here at
reputable
Dope Black
sources.
The
Thoughts
story
do
broke
not
on multiple
condone.
platforms.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
here's the
right.
great part.
There you
Jason,
go, lawyer.
I don't think we said. You are actually a publisher of a newspaper, correct?
Yes, sir.
Down in
Yes, sir.
Texas.
Yes,
An
sir.
award-winning
Title Press.
newspaper, correct?
Award winning.
Yes, sir. Award-winning
So-
community newspaper.
So thank you. So there we go. Now we're talking about sources and what are credible sources. And that's what we're saying. That's all we're saying. So as you see, DBT is bringing it to you with sources and with credible folks. But if you want to come and debate us, let's go.
But also, I don't even like the idea that people may have said, I'm not going to walk in here and get ransacked by 6 black people that are all of the complete opposite political, ideology than I am.
That's not a racist white woman's fantasy.
Oh, God.
That's why right there.
See, that's why it's
So
after dark.
low.
It is after dark right now. But
What was it, dude?
Hashim
It was
is
Drew Hill that went solo. Drew Hair.
Cisco.
Cisco.
isn't that Jason Derulo made a going solo song? too?
I'm going solo,
He did make it.
but with a gospel album.
Look at Jason sipping his
That was
tea.
They call that CC
Didn't
whining.
R. Kelly do a gospel album?
R. Kelly did a couple of gospel albums.
Oh, shots
They
fired.
were actually good albums. Just for
I think that's the first R. Kelly mentioned on the show. And on
Oh,
that
my
note,
bad.
Yes. On that note,
R. Kelly is trash.
it is 7:05 p.m.
R. Kelly is trash.
Mountain Time.
Let him watch
How about
your
that,
daughter
Jason?
if you
How
don't
about-
think
how
about
about
that.
9:05 p.m. East
Mountain
Coast.
time.
even the first
8:05 p.m.
R.
Central
Kelly is
Time.
trash.
Yes, sir.
And we are out of here.
But I
So,
want to be clear. If I see P, I move.
Peace.
oh my God.
Come on
So
now.
with that, I just want to
Stay on,
say
Jason. We're gonna go
family
to the
show.
outro. Stay
it's a
on.
family show.
Okay.
will not be a season 2.
Come on now, don't do that.
Call me Diana Ross, baby. I'm ready.
Come in now.
Well, we did our best.
ADDIVTED. What is love? It's a drug. Let it rotate, did it get back in it? Calling me an Uber just to get back to you. Hit the cash out like fate, I send it. Is it really worth the wait? I don't